On the News 12 app, available on your Roku, Fire Stick, and other smart TV devices.
Hey, Jill, what's the matter?
Man, this name change is stressing me out.
Everyone will know we still specialize in Medicare.
Yeah, I know that, but what about this?
Are you 64.com?
From our family to yours, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Live from Augusta, you're watching News 12 at 6 o'clock.
Our top story tonight on News 12 at 6 o'clock. 2 lives lost after a crash involving a school bus in Aiken.
It happened at the intersection of Wrights Mill and Rushton Roads, involving a bus that belongs to the Aiken County School System. The driver, the bus monitor, the student on board, they're all okay.
Now we're learning more about the other car that was involved in that deadly crash. Nick Veland live for us near the crash with the latest.
Yeah, well, day is turning tonight here in Aiken County after a deadly crash kills 2 right behind me on Wrights Mill and Rushton Road. And when it was light outside, we can show you what the scene did look like a couple of hours ago when around noon near the intersection of Rushton and Wrights Mill, an Aiken County school bus hit a 2018 Toyota. The 2 people in the car died, and that's according to the South Carolina Highway Patrol. Aiken County School District says that there were people inside the bus during the accident. It was the bus driver, a bus monitor, and a middle school student. The student did go to the hospital for observation, but has been released. And the district says that all 3 will be okay. And the roads outside, there were cones pretty much right here blocking everything back. All roads are now back open. As you can see, some cars driving behind us now. And the names of the 2 that did die during the crash will not be released until the next, until family gets notified, and that won't happen until the coroner notifies us when those names will be released.
So, Nick, it was a little hard to tell from the video, but if you can hear me, can you tell us how that bus was damaged, front end, rear end? It looks like the bus was being hauled away by a tow truck there in the video.
Yeah, we really couldn't tell from where we were stationed at the scene, and those details are still coming into us, and we won't know until the Highway Patrol will let us know exactly where this and how it happened. So those details are still limited at this time, but we'll definitely keep you updated when we find out the latest.
Okay, definitely let us know as soon as you find out more, Nick. Thank you.
Well, today was fairly thanks to the system moving out of the Gulf of Mexico. We'll have much more on that heavy rain threat in just about 10 minutes.
Riley, thanks. He was the youngest member ever elected to the Richmond County School Board. Never got to serve, though. Tyreek Robinson died just a week after voters elected him. The sheriff's office ruling his death a suicide. They closed the case a year ago.
Now 2 others are dead. The lead investigator on the case and the mother of Tyreek's son. Senior investigative reporter Liz Owens began exposing the narrative surrounding Tyreek's death a year ago.
Thanks, Laura. Well, the recent deaths of the investigator and mother of Tyreek's son led me back to the case file and the questions surrounding it.
911, do you need police, fire, or an ambulance? Anybody. My bus committed suicide.
Takai Gowdy finds his older brother's body in bed. Tyreek Robinson's ankles are crossed. He is nude with a blanket tucked around him. The pillow next to his body is missing a pillowcase. Near his body, 2 cell phones, AirPods, a knife, and a 9mm pistol. Investigator Brian Manicky is nearby when he hears the call.
Which hand did the brother say he got?
He said it was just laying on his chest.
Laying on his chest. Okay.
Yeah.
Terrence Howard is the crime scene tech on the case. He writes, Tyreek's right arm is in an upright position with the right elbow on the bed and right wrist bent. The veteran paramedic at the scene comments about the oddity of it. An autopsy report would later show his hands are clean, no mention of gunpowder on them. The tech snaps photos at the scene, a bottle of bleach on the counter, a bathtub full of discolored water, an indentation on the headboard, and a bullet in the nearby couch. Investigator Manicky notices several cameras and a security system.
That door was open at 9:30 last night. He was in the lounge at 9:30 last night. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30. 9:30 Mama said whenever she talks to her sons on the phone, both of them, him and the other one down there, she checks their location just to see where they're at. And said his phone showed him in Perry, Georgia.
Suspicious?
Afterwards, sometime past the night, he turned it off.
Manakee is new to CID, promoted to investigator child sex crimes less than a year ago. But the rookie detective suspects not everything is as it seems.
So am I doing my report as a unattended death or suicide?
All evidence points to it.
But the paper trail turns into a cold trail back at the 400 building. The crime scene report also shows inconsistencies. The crime scene text states the serial number is obliterated. But this photo, although blurry, shows a serial number on it. The tech does record a number he finds on the gun box, which he is informed there is no record on. The gun is not returned to the family because an attempt at recovering the serial number on the gun itself is unsuccessful. He's also unsuccessful in recovering any fingerprints, even though Tyreek's brother tells deputies he moved the gun. The report continues the crime scene tech does not recover fingerprints on any of the items in evidence. Manakee also reaches a dead end back at headquarters. He states in his report he received an email from Comcast legal department advising they did not have an account with the listed address or camera system for Tyreek Robinson. The I-Team wants to confirm there is no account and requests the email from Comcast. The sheriff's office responds saying it's deleted and IT is unable to recover the email.
Yeah, so the story is, the guy was getting bullied online by coworkers and people out of town. Apparently, he was accused of stealing something, stealing money that he didn't steal. And people are all really crazy over that. People can be so cool.
A narrative immediately emerges after Tyreek Robinson wins a seat on the Richmond County Board of Education. His mentor/business partner accuses him of stealing $250,000 from her business. She contacts the I-Team, but never goes to the sheriff's office with it.
And so I won't let anybody back me down or let any accusation or allegation back me down. It's just time for me to stand firm and just show that I am innocent in this.
The day after he publicly denies the allegations on the Austin Road show, he dies. He dies before the I-Team learns his mentor's ex-boyfriend appears to offer Tyreek a bribe after assaulting him in Cherokee, North Carolina. He dies before the I-Team learns of his mentor's professional relationship with Randy Frails, attorney for the Richmond County Sheriff's Office. He tells the I-Team his relationship between Tyreek's mentor and the Sheriff's Office is not a conflict of interest.
So, I mean, you're over here making it out like it was a homicide.
Well, it's a death. We don't treat it like a murder until it's determined otherwise.
Manner of death? Suicide. A year later, another suicide, the lead investigator in Tyreek Robinson's death. Officials say Brian Manakee, Child Sex Crime Unit, Richmond County Sheriff's Office, also committed suicide. He too dies a few days after allegations surface about him. The narrative here, he used a fake name to share back-to-school photos of two girls on a pedophilia-friendly Facebook page. The parents of the girls went public after they say a Richmond County deputy sent them the screenshots. They will not tell us that deputy's name. Manakee dies before anyone proves the account even belongs to him. Now, a third death. Highway Patrol says 18-year-old Sydney McKay died in a single-vehicle car accident. She leaves behind a son, Tyreek's son, who celebrated a birthday in November, the same month he lost his parents a year apart. The sheriff's office tells us the internal affairs investigation into Manakee is still open. The GBI handled investigating his death. They sent their findings in that death investigation to the district attorney where his body was found due to the facts and circumstances of the investigation.
So many questions surrounding that case, Liz. Thank you for staying on top of it for us. Also tonight, a suspect arrested following a deadly shooting at a smart grocery store on Wrightsboro Road Monday. Deputies say the driver of a car staying on top of it for us. Also tonight, a suspect arrested following a deadly shooting at a smart grocery store on Wrightsboro Road Monday. Deputies say the driver of a car involved in the deadly shooting, Tashana McDaniel, is being charged with murder in the death of 32-year-old Jeremiah Griffin. Investigators say McDaniel gave a ride to the suspect who shot Griffin and left the scene. So far, no details about that suspected shooter in that case.
New tonight, former Augusta Mayor Hardy Davis will have to pay a $250 fine after the State Ethics Commission ruled he violated the Campaign Finance Act. This comes years after they launched an investigation into a 2018 billboard that urged voters to approve placing the new James Brown Arena at the Regency Mall site. It was claimed to be purchased by concerned voters of Richmond County. After a subpoena, the commission found emails between Hardy, a mayor's office employee, and the property manager for the Regency Mall. They also uncovered the invoice and contract for the billboard, which cost almost $4,000, which was paid for by the mall. Davis still faces a separate state ethics investigation into how he spent thousands in campaign funds. Allison's race is taking off. Next on News 12 at 6 o'clock, we have more on a benefit recital for an accident victim's miraculous recovery tonight.
And still ahead, try your luck digging for gemstones. We're going to take you along in today's one-tank trip.
And we are expecting a cold night, and then heading into Sunday, heavy rain and wind. We have issued a first alert. We'll have a look at that forecast just after the break. Sunday morning and most of next week trending dry, but it will remain cooler than average.
Allison's race continues tonight. She's the Greenbrier High School student injured in a car crash this fall. The 15-year-old suffered severe brain damage and was on a ventilator for weeks. Allison is on the road to recovery, and tonight her piano teacher is using their annual Christmas concert to help cover the cost of some of her steep medical bills. And as a bonus, Allison will perform tonight too.
She's just a very, very talented student naturally anyway, and very driven and hardworking, so I don't take too much credit for it. I just got
a few isolated outages as far as power concerns go. Once we get past Sunday night, we're back to dry weather Monday morning and most of next week trending dry, but it will remain cooler than average.
Allison's race continues tonight. She's the Greenbrier High School student injured in a car crash this fall. The 15-year-old suffered severe brain damage and was on a ventilator for weeks. Allison is on the road to recovery, and tonight her piano teacher is using their annual Christmas concert to help cover the cost of some of her steep medical bills. And as a bonus, Allison will perform tonight too.
She's just a very, very talented student naturally anyway, and very driven and hardworking, so I don't take too much credit for it. I just guide her.
But what an amazing thing it will be when she sits down at the piano tonight. If you want to help support Allison's race, that recital starts at 6:30. It's in the Hardin Auditorium out in Evans, and we do plan to be there. You can see it for yourself tonight on News 12 at 11 o'clock. Well, in case you didn't know, the Piedmont of South Carolina is known as a mineral-rich region.
Will Volk visited a place where you can dig for your own shiny gems for this week's One Tank Trip.
Carol Sauer-Corwin and her husband love it here.
We had to come back here. This is our second trip.
They're on a trip from the Charleston area. Since they're close by, they want to see what they can find at Diamond Hill Mines.
You see what other people are finding, and you just want to come back and find it yourself.
Finding it yourself is what this place is all about.
There used to be a really big hill right here, and people would ride by and say, look at the diamonds on the hill.
What they actually saw were crystals, many different types of them. There are still about a dozen types of crystals here, and you can dig for them yourself. Volunteer David Brown says it's therapeutic.
It's fun. It's just, you just get in there and you get in a zone and you forget about all your troubles behind you.
When I visited, the mine was muddy from recent rain, but I didn't let that stop me.
You're going to be dirty.
Wear your worst clothes, so you're in trouble today.
As it turns out, I was just fine. The rain helped bring crystals in the pile close to the surface, and I found a couple nice pieces. Here at Diamond Hill Mine, you can try finding your own.
Mother Nature's just amazing.
In Abbeville, Will Volk, on your side.
And Diamond Hill Mine is open every day, including holidays. You pay one price for the day, and you keep everything you find.
It is $20 for adults, less for kids and seniors and veterans. And they do suggest bring your own tools to dig, or if you don't, you can rent some right there.
Pedestrian deaths are on the rise. Next on News 12 at 6 o'clock, we sit down with the man who faces this reality every day.
First alert.
Work around you so you can still use your kitchen.
Let us transform your kitchen. Call us today for a free estimate.
So call Southern Swag today, 706-294-0244.
For weeks, we've been covering the surge in pedestrian deaths here in Richmond County. Data shows 60% of those deaths happen in one zip code, 30906. And tonight we're learning deaths have more than doubled. 19 pedestrians have died so far this year. Last year, that number was 8.
So one man is seeing these firsthand, sometimes on a daily basis. Sydney Hood sat down with the Richmond County coroner to talk about that.
Driving here and there is the daily normal for most of us. But there's something else becoming too normal on these roads.
Starting you off with some breaking news here this half hour. One man has died after being hit by a car.
Dangerous issue we know all too well in Richmond County, pedestrian deaths.
There's been a rash of deadly pedestrian accidents in recent weeks here in Augusta.
It's scary. You know, it's something we wasn't expecting, and it's happening all the time. We're getting the pedestrian stuff.
Last year, 8 pedestrians died in Richmond County, and this year that number's up to 19.
It's very alarming.
These are not easy cases to investigate.
There's no way to figure out what's happening here.
Each case comes with a different name, but that pain attached to each name listed is the same.
It affects a lot of people when somebody gets hit. You got the families of the victim, you've got the driver of the vehicle that, you know, has got to live with this now, and it's very bad.
And it never gets better.
The investigation takes a while, especially if we have an autopsy done.
That's something Coroner Mark Bowen requests if he thinks it's needed.
We want to give closure to the family and give a true cause of death. We don't want, a lot of times, you know, we don't want to be guessing.
Because after all, behind each case is a family that just wants justice for their loved one. In Augusta, Sydney Hood, on your side.
And most of these deaths tend to happen at night, so if it's too dark, use your high beams, they suggest. Don't drive, of course, if you're sleepy or drowsy.
And of course, most importantly, they say to slow down because that really could save someone's life.
On your sideline, sports brought to you by the Hawk Law Group.
On Tuesday, the Greenbrier Wolfpack made history by becoming the first team from the CSRA to ever win a state championship in girls flag football. With less than 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, with the state championship on the line, Greenbrier and Lithia Springs were tied at 6 points apiece when Maggie Pangle, who sat out for most of the game while dealing with an ankle injury that she suffered in the first quarter and ended up basically playing on one leg, caught what turned out to be the game-winning touchdown.
She walks up to me in the fourth quarter, and I'm, calling a play or something like that, and she just very calmly said, "Coach, I'm ready to play." And it didn't take me long to say, "All right, get in there."
The energy and the passion this team showed all season long will undoubtedly help this sport grow and inspire girls all over the CSRA. You can watch our full 30-minute interview with head coach Daniel Jordan on our website, wrdw.com.
From our family to yours, wishing you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Yes, you know it's Pantene.
Staying dry tomorrow, hanging on lots of sunshine. Should be a beautiful Friday after a fairly cold start. We'll see the 20s right around daybreak, but into the weekend, keep an eye on Sunday. That's when we do the first alert for heavy rain and wind.
Our next live update comes at the top of the hour on 26 News.
Then we're back with more News 12 tonight at 11.
The CBS Evening News, we focus on solutions, finding solutions to help people understand what are the right choices to make for you and your family.